just realized I started trying to pick my nose without confirming if the webcam was off. Because I will happily admit that I'm a motherfucker that picks my nose. But I don't like picking my nose in front of people. You got your Endwalker trial mounts, Dawn Trail Ahoy. Best of luck. I hope you enjoy yourself, Ian, for what it's worth. I'm actually curious as to what you would think of the MSQ. Well, at least base MSQ when you wrap it up. Okay. I think we've let the stream cook long enough for this one. I've only had this chair for like 2 weeks, and I already got to put some fucking WD-40 in the goddamn joint, because that shit's already creaking. But how's everyone doing on this Easter Sunday? I'm not really a religious sort, so to me Easter is just kind of another day. And as a kid, we'd celebrate more of like the Easter Bunny centric related stuff, and not so much about the Jesus stuff. To me it was more about what am I getting in my Easter basket this year. Is that a CTRT? Yeah, it's a Crash Team Racing TV. So I've had that for a while. You could probably only see it now because I installed a new shelf for it. Because beforehand, I had an old-fashioned wooden table on it it's sturdy, but that CRTs weigh a lot. That fucking TV right there, I think, is a good, if I had to put a fucking number on there, probably 70, 80 pounds. It's a bitch to carry. It's a bitch to lift. I didn't know it was about Jesus until after 2020. And Jesus was like, what did I die for? All right, but I hope everyone's doing fine today. We are going to be starting this community Q&A momentarily here. And how this works basically is that on the community Discord, the Subshack, which you gain access to by being either a Twitch sub here or a $5 or beyond backer on my Patreon. Then you synchronize your accounts with the Discord, and then you have immediate access to it. In the Discord itself, there is a channel called Community Corner, and that is where I'm reading your questions from. Sorry, I had to lower the music there for a second because for some reason that particular track in this lo-fi mix that I'm listening to is much higher than the other songs that we were listening to. Hey, Garen Butter, thank you for the tier 1. Goddamn, 53 months. Why the hell is time going so fast? You sure you should be using the word goddamn on Easter Sunday? Actually, I don't really care. Okay. I think we've waited long enough, though, so let me see who wants to ask what to start things off. And let me remove the Discord window properly so I can actually read it and face the screen at the same time. There we go. Hold on a second here. Nintega 2000 is starting with a quote. Hopefully it's something I know. Already terrified? I haven't even taken one away yet. Did seeing 5 little boys make you afraid you fail them all? I don't know what that in reference to, but it sounds pretty creepy. Also, keep away from the 5 little boys, okay? That's just fucking weird. I'm gonna pass on a question. A Shantae programmer recently asked, who would you cast for a Mega Man movie, assuming it's animated? I mainly want Marissa Lenti as Mega Man, Nicholas Cantu as Bass, and maybe Chuck Huber as Proto Man. Those are names. So I honestly, I do not know who the hell I'd cast for a Mega Man movie, because I am so, like, are we talking like, are we talking live action? Are we talking a CGI? Are we talking animated, like 2D? Because either way, I'm not really the kind of person that does like fantasy booking, I guess, for roles. I just kind of take whatever is given to me, and then it's like, does it make sense to me? Yeah, it makes sense to me. And I only really think of like, who'd I pick, like in hindsight, if I think I can think of a better choice. But most of the time, I'm thinking it's like it's just like whoever they decided to cast it, it's whatever. Because I am so unfamiliar or out of touch with who's who in the voice acting industry outside of folks that I've known for years on end. It's like, is Mark Hamill still doing stuff? Wendy Lee, Johnny Young Bosch, Stephen Bloom, you know, all the major like the Mount Rushmore of VAs or VOs. So I really don't know exactly who I would ideally cast as these roles. It's just more like, I like to see a confirmation. First off, I would absolutely be down with the CGI or animated like Mega Man movie. Would it happen? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I'm not high though, right? Like, wasn't there a recent Mega Man animation that was, did it come and go? Did it ever like actually release? Secret Level? That's the actual subtitle for it? Or is that like is it part of another series? I feel like Secret Level, I've heard that name before. Is that the Amazon series? Yeah, it's the anthology series. Yeah, I have seen it. But I thought there was I could have sworn there was like a separate Mega Man cartoon that like came and went like a fucking fart, because I don't hear anyone talk about it. But I might be just misremembering, so we'll just move on from there. Okay, though. Emil Dubaz is asking, given recent developments that's been happening with a certain franchise, what would you want for a possible new Star Fox? All I'm hoping is for them to not simply make another Star Fox 64. I've had enough of them repeating that same story and not doing anything new past that point. Okay, so... fully charged. There you go. Thank you. I think it's fully charged that I'm thinking about, but that's a discussion for another time. But to answer Emil's question here, what would I want possible for a new Star Fox? I guess like the most basic bitch answer I can think of is I just want a new Star Fox, period. And I'll meet you half and half with not wanting another 64, because to me, Star Fox 64, when I want another Star Fox game, and I say like, what would you want it to lean towards more as? I would use Star Fox 64 as a basis, but it doesn't necessarily mean I want it to be a reboot, because they've already, how many times has Star Fox rebooted its story? Once with 64, I think they did it again with Zero. I think it was 3 times. Did they reboot it again between 64 and 0? Because I think it's 2 times. Either way, they keep doing it. If you're gonna make a new Star Fox game, set it after Assault so that we can finally continue on with the story, and just make it, like, gameplay wise, just make it 64 again. I don't think anyone would bitch that we would have another 64S Star Fox game that actually continue on from after Assault. Because Assault, I thought, was pretty good. Like, I didn't really care for the floor missions, like the ground missions, that they were kind of whatever. But like the R-Wing stuff, the presentation, the production values of Assault, that wonderful orchestral soundtrack was pretty fucking dope, dude. And they just never continued on from there because Zero rebooted the fucking franchise again. But you know what? No, like, I think we might be getting something, like, given like the Mario Galaxy stuff. And I can say that's not spoiling anything because they just fucking showed that to us. And honestly, like, I'm not going to be getting into Mario Galaxy movie spoilers for this Q&A because the movie just came out a couple of days ago. I'm going to be making a video for it later next week, and I hope you guys look forward to that because it's going to be myself, it's going to be my uncle, like sitting down together in the same room and just shooting the shit and talking about our experiences, because I think we're going to have pretty contrasting opinions on this and that, and I'm pretty excited because I can talk my fucking mouth off with my uncle over like-minded shit. But I don't understand, like, why reveal Fox, like, and just in the promo stuff, and not just save that for the reveal? Because can you imagine the fucking hype that Nintendo fans would just erupt in sheer joy in seeing another Nintendo character from a different franchise just right then and there as they're watching the movie. Now you're going in and anticipating it, and it's like the magic's gone. The magic is fucked. I don't know, man. It's just like no one's allowed to be excited for shit. I don't know, man. It's so fucking weird. But yeah, to reiterate, I want another Star Fox 64 that actually continues the story after Assault. Because I don't know why they just don't want to. I honestly do not know. But anyway, Looked Puppet is asking, favorite shotgun to use in the Resident Evil franchise? Oh boy. So this is a toss-up between the custom shotgun in Resident Evil 2 Classic and the Striker in RE4. Or OG RE4, I want to say. Because they changed the Striker in Remake so that I don't find it as good. But the Striker in Resident Evil 4, OG Resident Evil 4 was just stellar. It had a humongous fucking ammunition capacity. Not to mention like the Ditman glitch is what I think most people probably remember the gun for, but I personally love it because of its compact size in the attaché case. When you fully upgrade it, it holds 100 rounds of ammunition. It's just a wonderful shotgun. But the custom shotgun in Resident Evil 2, which is like, it's the shotgun that you make by collecting certain pieces like throughout the campaign and Leon's story. Once you finish it, the thing just becomes a fucking weapon of mass destruction. I think its power is only rivaled by the Magnum, and it has such a loud, crunchy bam when you use it. Like, liquors don't stand a chance. Nothing stands a chance with the custom shotgun. I love it. It's one of my favorite fucking weapons in the series. But hopefully that answers your question. The Hydra in was the Hydra was that the 3-barreled shotgun in RE5, or or was that something else that I'm thinking about? Because the one-handed triple-barreled shotgun that Chris gains access to in RE5 is pretty fucking dope too, if only because it's one-handed, and it's really cool just seeing Chris just like right up, bam. Okay, yeah, so it is. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. You know what, that is a close third, because I actually do really like that gun too. But it doesn't just compare utility-wise wholesale to the Striker and RE4. And power speaking, I don't think it matches the custom shotgun either. Yeah, I'm not lying. That thing is triple barreled. There are 3 barrels on that son of a bitch. And it's sawed off too, so it's illegal. But I don't think Chris cares. All right. Why is the text so fucking small today? Son Gohan is asking, hey John, hope you're having a great Sunday. I am wondering, what is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh duel from Duel Monsters? Oh. I think we're going to keep it strictly. You said Duel Monsters, so okay, we're keeping it strictly OG series. That's not season 2 stuff. Season 0 stuff. And there's a lot to pull from. But when I'm thinking like favorite duels, man. So what do I often go back to? I often go back to Yugi versus Kaiba on the Coliseum one, because Kaiba literally just like, Kaiba's ego is so fucking massive to the point where he not only projects a holographic Coliseum for their grand finale duel, he also has audience members that just cheer his name incessantly. And it's like, I can't wait for Yugi to spank this fucker, because he is such a fragile bitch. Outside of that, I also really like the final duel and the end versus Yugi and Atem, for the sake of Atem moving on or staying behind. That is a really fucking fun duel. Outside of Yugi though, I'm trying to think of like other characters outside of Yugi that duels that I actually really like. I'm trying, like, my mind is fixated on Joey. If we're including everything, including like the filler arcs, like the Doma arc, I kind of have a soft spot for Joey versus who was the guy with the cars that are just mech pieces that he attaches to, and essentially the duel just becomes like Joey in a mech suit and the other guy in a mech suit, and they're literally like beating the shit out of each other, but it's still technically duel monsters. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? But also, why can't I look away? Valen, yeah, that's right. I remember the guy's name is Valen. He had a really fucking like thick Aussie accent, if I recall correctly. The Doma arc, the Leviathan arc, is kind of all over the place, but it like the duels themselves can be pretty fucking fun just because of just how nonsensical they are with the Seal of Orichalcos. My only problem with Doma stuff is that a lot of duels conclude with someone pulling like their special dragon card, like the Fang of Critias or the Claw of Hermos or something like that. It's like, I think they all conclude too similarly too often, and it gets kind of dull. But the duels themselves outside of that are generally pretty fucking pretty dope. The Eye of Timaeus too. Thank you. I was blanking on the third one too, or the Eye of Tim, as Rick is putting it. But yeah, I mean, those are just a handful of those, because I do occasionally. Actually, just recently, just a couple of days ago, I was rewatching some of Duel Monsters because I got the bug. And Duel Monsters is generally a good time. Now, do you guys prefer watching prefer watching the 4Kids dub, or do you guys have to watch the original Japanese language anime? I can go either or sometimes. It really depends on which duel that I'm watching. One problem that I am having revisiting the 4Kids dub is that, and maybe this is just like the old man in me speaking, but fuck, I forgot how noisy the 4Kids dub can be. Like, the music is very loud, everyone's screaming their fucking asses off. There's more lines of dialogue added just for the sake of gags and that sort of shit. And it's like, it's fine, I think, in small doses, but like when you're trying to marathon that shit, it does get kind of exhausting. But I can still watch it, no problem. If you're asking me to sit down and watch, Joey versus Yami Merrick, like 4Kids dub, I can do so. Like, I still think they're pretty good. As a kid, I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh! Should I watch the anime? I think you should probably read the manga more than anything, and play the card game. I would say generally just play the card game, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty fun. All right, let me see. Belgian Booming World trademark is asking if you had a Tomodachi Life island. Okay, which fictional character / real life people would you fill your island with? God. Also, sorry, not sorry for splatting you a few times during the Splatoon 3 sub night. Oh, that's okay. You're not. I mean, you said sorry, not sorry. It's like I already kind of forgot everything that happened because traumatic injuries via ink splattering will do that to a motherfucker. But I appreciate you being a part of that anyway. If I had a Tomodachi Life island with which fictional character / real life people would you fill your island with? Man, do we really want to be talking about islands? I gotta make a list, you see, of some of my favorite fictional characters and real life people to put on this island. And I'm gonna save that list in case someone tries to fuck me later down the road. I mean, is that the appeal of Tomodachi Life? It is literally just like making characters, like, because Tomodachi Life is the me game, right? Is that basically how it works? Like it's just a bunch of me's locating something, because to me that has the same appeal as The Sims, and I'm not a Sims guy, and the idea of just like playing around with characters like toys, it's not really that engaging for me, because I'd rather just just spend my energy writing my own stories and not necessarily in this kind of scenario. What I'm trying to say is I don't actually know who the fuck I put on this island, because I would never humor Tomodachi Life. I don't find the game appealing at all in the slightest. It is just not for me. And you guys probably could answer this question better than I could on who I'd fill an island with, you know. And I don't know who the fuck I don't know, because I don't have no idea. I had no intentions of playing this game in Belgium. I'm sorry for like just kind of copping on that one, but I have no fucking clue on who the hell I'd even consider for this one. Let's be real, The Sims is just a socially awkward, acceptable method of performing inhumane social experiments. But you see, you know, that's... I don't need Tomodachi Life for that. Okay, Sonnox is asking, hey, John, hope your Easter has been lovely. Since it's wrestling season, though it's ongoing, every season is wrestling season, but WrestleMania and such, what are some of your favorite wrestling matches? Oh man, I have been so off of wrestling for the last 6 or 7 months, I want to say, that I have no idea what the fuck is even happening now in both AEW and WWE. But if I had to go back to my childhood and pull from there, let's see here. I'm always gonna have love for Mankind versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell. I think it was 1998 or 97. No, I think it was 98 where Mankind was thrown off of the top of the cage. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17 or X7. Let me see. What was another one that I absolutely liked? Fuck, there was a really fucking good... There was a triple threat, I think, with Kurt Angle, The Rock, Rikishi. Oh no, was it a fatal 4-way? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It was the first time that Kurt Angle won the World Championship. And it was just like a hype fucking moment, because Kurt Angle was like, he was heel around the time, but he was such a fucking dork that you just wanted to see him win because of just how endearingly adorable his character was. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle Mania 21. I don't think that was after I stopped watching, so I'm not entirely familiar with that one. Was it Kurt versus Rock versus Triple H? Was it that one? I could have sworn Rikishi was there too. But I'm also trying to think. God, there's so many to pull. There's so many years to pull from that I don't even know where the fuck I'd even begin. Because I can only pull from my experiences from like the height of my wrestling like craze, which is like late 90s and early aughts. Because I stopped watching wrestling like full time in early summer of 2002. It was right before the King of the Ring of that year. But yeah, generally anything with The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Shawn Michaels was something that I was generally a big fan of. Shawn Michaels especially, because Shawn Michaels I really didn't have an appreciation for as a kid, because Shawn Michaels was very already on and off by the time I started watching wrestling, because he was out of commission because of a back injury. And he was going through a lot of personal demons with, I think, drug use, or I'm not sure if he had a drinking problem, but he became, I believe he became a born-again Christian, and then his life just kind of turned around afterwards, and then he came back, and then he just started putting on 5-star match after 5-star match. And he's just like, he was someone that I did not have a real appreciation for as a kid, but as an adult, I realized, what a fucking workhorse. Which had Vince fight God? I know what you're talking about, but I do not know what pay-per-view that was. If it was a pay-per-view, maybe it was deadass just a fucking Monday Night Raw. You know? I'm never gonna hate wrestling, but I have to be honest and say that I don't watch it nearly as often as I used to. It was Backlash 2006, according to Van. Okay, there you go. Well, that's something I guess to look forward to. If we gotta, I guess, is the WWE stuff still on Peacock? I genuinely don't know. One from Canada. I was asking, hey, John, first of all, thanks for the advice about the last QA. Oh, sorry. Thanks for the advice from the last QA about my business. I started boosting and advertising more about my business, and I've gotten a lot more attention since. Fuck yeah. Love to hear that. But now for my question. So the Mario Galaxy movie just released, and long string of ellipses. Yeah, I haven't seen a movie this polarizing in a long time from both others and myself, especially if you know me and a certain character is cherish. Certain character. Oh, okay, never mind. Which leads me into this. What is a movie, game, or show where you first thought it was good or enjoyable, but as time passes on, the more you think about it, it suddenly gets worse or better? That's an option too. So basically, what's a movie or a piece of media you had one opinion on, but then it shifts onto the opposite end the more you watch it? Like I mentioned the Galaxy movie, but another example beforehand was actually Avengers Endgame. Mainly because how it was structured, and then afterwards seeing recent MCU decisions that makes me feel like the movie didn't feel like an ending or proper finale. By the way, I'm so uncertain about Doomsday and Secret Wars. I mean, that's a whole other can of worms that we can talk about at some other point, because I'm so fucking out of MCU stuff. As of late, I'm only like occasionally watching this and that, and that's only out of personal interest. But let me see here. I gotta think about this. So, I guess like to keep it close to superheroes, since that was brought up, and that's kind of on the mind. Dark Knight Rises, the third movie, there are elements of that movie that I really like. I love Tom Hardy's Bane. I love, God, what's her name? Anne Hathaway. I love her interpretation of Selena Kyle, but that movie just keeps fucking falling apart the more I think about it, because it's like, it's kind of a nonsensical plot that really just kind of, you read this one. You read this in Bane's voice. That I did with the hypnotic suggestion. No, The Dark Knight Rises is a movie that lives and dies by the memes that everyone refers to, but the whole collective sum of it is something that's like, could I watch it? Yeah, I could watch it, but it does so many fucking weird things that it's not exactly how I would end the trilogy, personally speaking. It's just it's okay. Some of you were saying the Sonic movie. Which one are we talking about? Are we talking the Exception Zone said the Sonic movies? Oh, interesting. Because like I can go back and watch all three, especially because I think especially the third. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'll meet you halfway here, because out of all the three movies, the one I kind of find hard to go back to the most out of all of them is the second one. You know, and which is to say, like, the second movie like has a lot of good moments, but fuck, man, I don't give a shit about the wedding stuff. And that takes up a good chunk of the movie too. Like, it's just like the movie just grinds to a halt when they go into the whole wedding sequence, and it just really makes it hard to rewatch on revisits. But you know, the first movie, I don't really have a similar issue with that. And the third movie, to me, is just great. Like, all things considered, at least the gun inside the Bible is peak. Yeah, I mean, that in itself, you could argue is worth the writing, but it's realistically, it doesn't really hold me that much. But hopefully that goes into your question. Like, I am very curious to discuss the Mario Galaxy movie when we lift the spoiler embargo for this community anyway, because like opinions really are just all over the place for this fucking movie. But I also feel that personally speaking, without getting too deep into it, I also think people are being a little too hyperbolic about their opinions and how they treat this movie. Cause it's like, some people are actually reflecting, treating it like this, like it's two things for me. One, people are acting like this thing is a cinematic abortion, and it's like, it is not. Calm the fuck down, please. And the other one is people are using it as an excuse to prop up like the Sonic movie. And I was like, can we fucking stop this shit, please? You know, like, you really gonna get a boner because Sonic 3's Rotten Tomato score is higher than the Galaxy movie? Like, shut the fuck up. Sit down. Now, if you were to ask me if I were to watch a Sonic movie 3 or Mario Galaxy, I would say Sonic 3, so I'm part of the problem. But realistically, I am also the kind of person that will tell you just to say, hey, you can watch both. You'll get the fuck out of here. Get this, guys. You can watch both movies. Yeah, hell yeah, 2 cakes. You know, but it's like, man, people are really just fucking stupid, dude. People are so fucking stupid and do tribalistic shit for the stupidest shit that no one gives a fuck about. Or no one should give a fuck about, more accurately. But I hope that answered your question, JC. Ian, here's a question here, for me. Do you ever just listen to sad tracks from games to vibe out? I sometimes listen to this song from Like a Dragon to just zone. So I like the name of the track here is Like a Dragon Sad 1. Hold on. Let me play this. Let me pause the lo-fi. This is cutscene music. So like vibing to like somber or sad music just to like chill out and that sort of thing. Yeah, actually, I know exactly. I have a perfect track for this one too. You guys probably might already be able to guess it. Maybe. Let's see here. For me, that's KH2 songs, Kingdom Hearts 2 songs, like sad Kingdom Hearts 2 songs. Let's see here. Is this it? The 7 Meteor theme. No. There's like now it's time to vibe. As I'm sitting in a dark room with nothing but the light of the TV hitting my face. It's like, no. No, actually, we're talking about sad, somber music that gets me like I said the vibe. It's actually from Celeste. The track is track 11. It's Quiet and Falling. I believe this is it. Yeah, here we go. It's very Resident Evil save room theme. I think that's why I vibe with it so much. But this is actually really fucking like somber music at this point in the game because of like how the plot unfolds. And if you ever play Celeste, by the way, you absolutely should play Celeste. It's a great time. But I did fall in love with the soundtrack when I was listening to it the first time. And I go back to this track all the time because I absolutely love it. Oh, the RE2 save room theme is also a great choice. Yeah, you know, and you saying that, I'm saying that out loud here. Absolutely right. Like the RE2 save room theme is so fucking good. It is like, there is not a, unless you guys want to argue otherwise, there is not a save room theme in any other Resident Evil game that comes close to matching the majesty of the RE2 save room theme. Unless you guys like, can you guys like think of anyone that you personally would put on this on the same pedestal, or at least you think it's better actually, because you know opinions vary on that sort of shit. Veronica is good, but it's not as good as RE2. RE3 is also really good too, which I guess that goes to show it's like save room themes in Resident Evil in general are generally just a surefire way to have an absolutely great track. They're not melancholic, but Frontier's movements are so damn good. Dude, all right, fucking Chaos Island, especially. The progression of Chaos Island's motifs as you advance through that game, that island's plot, is legit some of my favorite shit from Frontiers that are not the vocal themes. It's great. But it's cool. I appreciate the share, Ian. It's always nice to. I love talking music, because music especially is just like, I feel that's the one thing that brings people together in terms of just like enjoying shit and just forgetting about the bad for a second. All right. Santiago with another question. Ooh, there's the Dancing Jesus page. I can see him dancing right now and spinning in place. Hello, happy Easter, everyone. My question would be, since it's the game's anniversary of, it's the game anniversary of games like Crash and Castlevania, are we going to see some sort of stream series of those games this year? I would say we're likely to see, if you're talking about like Twitch streams and that sort of shit, I don't see why I can't do both, considering that I can play Crash Bandicoot, no fucking problem. And it depends on the Castlevania, but the last Castlevania-esque thing we did on Twitch was the Symphony of the Night randomizer, if I recall. So I think we're overdue for some Castlevania love, but I'm trying to think what I would like. Do I start the other Metroidvanias, or do I start from square one and just work my way up? Do the thing that Derek did, because Derek really did just kind of set the standard for just playing through an entire game series and that sort of shit. And it's I love Castlevania, but at the same time, it's do I really want to play all the Castlevanias? I don't know yet, but I can't fucking wait for the 40th anniversary game. But a Crash Bandicoot, I can play that. I've been wanting to start a Crash Bandicoot 100% series for some time now. And I think we can probably start on doing that this year. Do we have an exact date on Crash Bandicoot's anniversary, or did that already pass? Not that I'm probably going to start the stream series on the anniversary proper, but it will at least give me a ballpark figure. Why would you do that to you? Because I love Crash Bandicoot. I do. I don't really follow the series. I have never played really the modern stuff, the modern stuff. I say the modern stuff are over 20 years old at this point. Mind Over Mutant, Crash of the Titans, I never really humored those, but my love for the original games never really went anywhere. I love Crash Bandicoot. And it's if they were to come back and make another game that's like Crash 4, but they fucking reeled it back with the goddamn collectibles, I am there day one. I was so excited when Crash Bandicoot 4 was announced and released, and it's despite the pain in the fucking ass it is to 100% that game still, as is, when you're not trying to get everything, is still a wonderful time. And then they just stopped afterwards, man. It's so fucking frustrating. It's we finally get a new game. Everybody loves the new game, and then they just don't do anything with it. And what are we doing, man? I gotta tell you, sometimes being a fan of a certain franchise can be really fucking frustrating. It's not shareholder pleasing. Please this, it tugs my nuts. Okay. SGM92 is asking, Happy Bunny Day. Has there ever been a retro game you ever wanted to try out, but never got the chance? A retro game you ever wanted to try out? So, God, that really just opens up the fucking door because of what constitutes as a retro game, especially now in 2026, because technically you can say Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 games fall under that criteria. Hell, you can say not even just 360 and PS3, fucking Wii games. And do you guys consider Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One retro? Because actually not really. I would say the PS4, the Wii U, and the Xbox One have not quite crossed the threshold yet to be retro consoles. They're obsolete. Well, not so much the PS4, but they are primarily obsolete. But to me, retro, as for someone my age, is something that goes starting from the PlayStation 2 and below. So if I had to, pick something from there, a retro game that I wanted to try out that I still haven't is actually Threads of Fate. Because I have that game physically on the PlayStation 1 for the sole intention of playing it at some point or another, because I hear it is spiritually like the sequel to Brave Prince and Musashi that I always wanted. That's not Musashi Samurai Legend, you know what I mean? But I still have not taken the time to just sit down and play the game. However, I did also just jailbreak my PlayStation Vita, and I'm starting to back up my games. And I'm thinking of just playing it on the Vita right then and there. Because fuck, I love the Vita so much, dude. I did not have a Vita growing up, when it was new and relevant, but fuck, I always loved the hardware. It's just so wonderful and cozy to hold in my hands. And I heavily recommend if you guys haven't done so already, get yourself a PlayStation Vita or a DS and fucking hack that shit. It's incredibly easy to do. My dumb ass can do it with just a quick Google Doc and just a bit of time. And you guys open yourself up to a world of possibilities. Kari is asking, hi John, now that we know the original God of War trilogy is getting remade, are you going to cover those versions or the originals for the Johnny Versus series? Are the remakes due for this year? I forget, because I know that was announced during the State of Play, but are they due for this year, or or they were just announced? No date on it. Okay, so we have no date on them. I would love to cover God of War at some point or another. I don't know if I'd do it this year, personally speaking, despite the franchise's anniversary. But I love the God of War series. More accurately, I like the original God of War games because I still have not to this day played the 2018 game, and I have not played Ragnarok. But 2018 and Ragnarok are vastly different games compared to the OG games. You know, they're very they're all story driven, but 2018 and Ragnarok are much longer games than the original games. You know, and I don't know, because does 2018 Ragnarok let you pork people? Because if you don't, then what's the point? But no, like I've played a lot of the original God of War. I've played and beaten God of War 2 a handful of times. To me, the game is just a little too long in the tooth for me to revisit it as easily. But I've also played a lot of God of War 3 as well. But there's more games there. There's the PSP games. There's the Ascension, I believe. I think there's another game that I'm forgetting. But it's just like it's like no nonsense hack and slash. Like everything dies and you fucking eviscerate them, and it's like it satiates that primal urge everyone gets from, you know, being called out of your job for clocking out too late, and you don't get that extra 5 cents for doing that. It's like, well, fuck you. It's like, but you know, I'm being dramatic here, but I think I can make some pretty fun videos with those. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to do it this year though, personally speaking. There's so many, this year especially with the 15th anniversary stuff coming up. I'm going to be putting a lot of focus on platformers, actually, because platformers I feel are my bread and butter for reviews, because like I'm a big platformer guy. So that's what I kind of want to focus on this year, outside of like the occasional, like I do at some point want to talk about Resident Evil 9. I want to talk about the new Onimusha game, which means I also want to talk about 2 and 3 and Dawn of Dreams. It's just, there's fucking so many things coming out this year, but there's also so many other things I want to talk about too that's not necessarily related to shit coming out this year. Okay, Gamer, that's the most simple fucking name I've ever seen in my life in this damn community. Hey John, hope your Easter is doing well. Has there been a series that was very popular and it makes you want to wait until the hype at least dies down a little, or at least the series is finished? A quick example for me is I'm waiting for the Amazing Digital Circus is finished. Okay, so you're not even talking about video games, you're just talking about like just media in general. Yeah, like I often wait until the hype dies down for something coming out. Either it could be television, it could be games, because not to take away from folks that are enjoying things like in the moment, right? But sometimes it could be a little much to try and play something or watch something while everyone else is, because everyone can't shut the fuck up. Now, there is fun to have in the discussion of talking with other like-minded fans of something that they are watching or experiencing together. However, sometimes it becomes too much. And it's like, I'm gonna wait till everyone stops talking about this before I go and talk, before I try to experience it for myself. I did it for Undertale. Undertale is a big example that I can think of, because when that game initially came out, so Undertale was 2015, I think, right? I did not play that game for myself until 2016 when I reviewed it for the channel. I think I gave it about like 6 months. I want to say 6 or 7 months. I don't remember the exact time frame. But the only reason why I didn't like get into it there, because like I think everyone couldn't shut the fuck up about this game. But it was also not like in a way it was like, oh, I gotta play it now. But it's also, it's like I don't want to play this now, but people keep fucking rubbing it in my fucking face, and it's like, I'm gonna step away for this for a bit. I'll come back to it later. And I'm glad I did, because, you know, it's to me, there's something more relaxing and cozy with enjoying something on your own pace without having to worry about FOMO or, you know, missing out on like trendy topics. You know, for a more recent example, actually, is I'm not gonna touch it anytime soon because I don't want to, but that Clair Obscura game, the Expedition 33 game, I genuinely want to try that at some point, but I don't want to right now because I don't feel like it. French Persona. You know, but it's also like there are times where it's like I enjoy riding the train with everyone else that are looking forward to something as much as I am, if not more so. But at the same time, sometimes I just want to enjoy something on my own time, like in my most private moments, and that's enough. Like, and sometimes I don't feel like sharing my thoughts on something too, like outside of like making something for a review. Obviously that's my job, but you know, I played and beaten Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I played and beaten Resident Evil 9 Requiem the day after it came out. I marathoned that fucking game because I was really looking forward to it. But you notice on my social media, I've not talked about it at all, because sometimes I don't feel like talking about like every little thing that I do. There are just some things that I play and enjoy for myself. And if somebody asks me a question about it, then I'll discuss, but it's not like I'm not trying to make everything that I do a conversation over every little thing that I play or watch. Because I feel sometimes you need to be able to balance that part of your life that hangs on social media and the part of your life that enjoys stuff privately. You got to have that balance. If you're far too flung into one direction or another, you just kind of losers. If you press start instead of X, get him. You know, and sometimes I get, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys, I do get a little self-conscious about it at points where I go on let's use the Blue Sky as an example, where I don't post nearly as often as some of my contemporaries, some of my mutuals, and I do feel like sometimes it's like I should probably be posting more, right? You know, just for the sake of like making sure folks are aware that I'm still alive and that sort of shit. But at the same time, I don't know what to fucking talk about. Like, I genuinely don't know what to fucking talk about. And if there's one thing that I don't like being, is disingenuous. You know, I don't want to post something for the fuck of it, just to make sure that people are aware that I'm still here. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt that they know that I'm still here. And lo and behold, like, here I am, booga booga. I'm underneath your mattress. Yeah, the old saying is no news is good news. But if you fucking put too much news, that's bad news. Okay, let's move on though. Hopefully that someone answered your question, gamer. M1 Yak 2 or Hikaru. I call you Hikaru now because I know that's it. That's your 14 name, and I never remember how to fucking pronounce your actual username. Or is it literally just pronounced M1 Yak 2? You know, but either way, hey John, when you think of pacing in something like classic Mega Man or a Mega Man X game, what are some moments when you thought the pacing was poor, aside from like the entirety of X7? All right, this is easy for me. Classic Mega Man 3, Doc Robot. I can't fucking stand that part of Mega Man 3. Because it's like, yeah, here's 8 Robot Masters. All right, now you're gonna fight all the Robot Masters from 2 again, and we're just going to prolong this journey for no fucking reason. I mean, at least you get your money's worth. I don't know exactly what the MSRP of Mega Man 3 was back when it originally released on the Nintendo. But fuck, man, it does just slow the game down to a crawl because it's like, I don't want to fight Doc Robot. I want to fight Dr. Wily. It's the whole point that I'm here. Mega Man X, though, let me think. Poor pacing. X1, nope, because X1 is almost perfect in every way. X2, no, don't really have a problem with X2 as well. Oh, X3, 100% X3 is a pain in the ass because I don't fucking care about the mechs. X4, no, I don't really have a problem with X4's pacing outside of a couple of states. Like, I remember not liking Cyber Peacock's gimmick, where you had to like race to the end of a particular zone to get like the best rewards. X5, Duff McWhalen, easily 100% in Duff McWhalen stuff, because you have to, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to play Duff McWhalen stage, which is an auto scroller, by the way, that you can't speed up. I think you have to play Duff McWhalen stage 3 times, and just saying that out loud makes my dick shrivel. And I don't. Do we even have to say anything about X6? And I'm the guy that will play X6. Like, you've asked me, it's like, can you, like, this game is dog shit. But it's like, yeah, I can still play it though, But it's also like, if I had to like pick the worst of the worst when it comes to X6's so X6 doesn't really have. So there's only 2 glaring things that I can think about with X6 in terms of its pacing. One, I can't fucking stand Metal Shark Player Stage. The giant scrap heap thing that just permeates, like, it's a bunch of stop and go. You stop and go bullshit, trying not to get crushed, and if you fucking let go of the D-pad or holding down, you concuss yourself and you die. And it's like, what the fuck is this shit? But like, the level itself is just a bore. And then when you're trying to 100% shit for X6, I can't stand Ground Scaravage. Because I keep calling him Grand Scaravage. Ground Scaravage's fucking gimmick teleports you to different spots and it's random. So it's like, I want to go to the room that has the fucking light capsule. Nope, there's a different room. I want to go to the room that has like the fucking heart container. Nope, the different room. And it's like, this is a waste of time. So it's like, ugh. I think those are some examples that I can think of. And you guys in the chat are just going nuts with the fucking references too. So it's like, yeah. X8, you load up the giant robot level, tape the shoot button down his axle, and go to sleep. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Okay. Mega Master 1021 is asking, hey Johnny, with Archie Sonic Online recently releasing 2 restored comic issues, this level of passion got me thinking there has been some community drive project you have been a part of outside of Sonic. Oh, hold on. So what's being asked here? This level of passion got me thinking, has there been some community drive project you have been a part of outside of Sonic? The only thing that comes to mind off the top of my head is when I was helping Derek with his Metroid movie pitch. Because that was very much, I mean, you say community, but it was very much just one man, like doing everything. But he went out of his way to fucking commission an artist to like do all the storyboards and that sort of shit. He put a lot of thought into the script. He constantly asked me for, read-overs, criticisms, critiques. He asked me and Nora, because Nora's the English major. And like, he was really dedicated to doing this sort of thing. And I was so happy when he finally got like the animatics done for like the Metroid movie pitch. And like, whether or not something ever comes out of it is not really the point. I'm really happy that he just got it out there, because a lot of people, well, not say a lot of people, I have no way to gauge this. I think it's safe to assume a lot of people will think of something, but they won't put in the effort to put it on paper or put it on pen in some form or fashion, because the drive is just not quite there yet. But when you see someone doing something like that, I find it inspiring. like personally speaking. It's like you're making something for a property or a franchise you don't legally own, but it doesn't matter because you are a fan of said franchise and you think you can showcase something that you yourself would enjoy, but also others would enjoy as well. You know, I've been mentioning to you guys that I've been doing a lot of lore building with my Final Fantasy XIV OCs that I generally keep very close to the chest. I only share it with some of my 14 friends. I share it with Alex, I share it with Nora, I share it with Boa, and I share it with a couple of other friends in my other Discord. But I don't show that to anyone else. I don't show it to you guys. I don't show it to other folks outside that Discord because I'm very self-conscious about it. It's something that I'm not really ready to showcase yet, but I'm very passionate about it. And it just feels good to just feel like I'm making something that people give a shit about. But I'm also really nervous about sharing it too, because it's like it's my own fan fiction stories. I haven't written fan fiction since I was in high school. And even then, like, I still think I'm not very good at it. But at some point or another, I would like to use those screen grabs and lore posts that I've been cooking up as animatics for an animation. Because I also, at some point or another, want to start learning Blender. I want to learn Blender so I can actually make, 3D animations, or maybe just 2D animations. I don't exactly know what the possibilities or the potential of Blender is, but at some point or another, I want to learn to make it a reality because, when push comes to shove, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And I fully believe in that. The worst human fan fiction will be better than any AI written slop is, you can't speak any truer than that, Antonio. I absolutely agree. Even the shittiest of shitty fan fictions have more effort than something that someone types in a fucking prompt. Don't fret, DeviantArt is gonna die soon. Shitty. But okay. Nintega 2000 is asking, since we've already hit massive diminishing returns in console graphics and even fatigue in photorealistic games, do you think consoles as a whole will eventually die out / turn into what the Steam machine is trying, even for Nintendo decades later? Or is there still some major features that can come in the future for consoles just to keep the relevancy? No, because I think the only thing that is keeping people from buying, not keeping people from, but that is encouraging people to continue to buy, your PlayStations, your Nintendo consoles, and your Steam machines, and your Microsoft stuff is strictly brand loyalty. I do think it's hard to say, granted, but I do believe that the writing is on the wall for like folks like Sony and Microsoft and maybe Nintendo. I'm not entirely sure. With Nintendo, it's hard to gauge Nintendo because Nintendo still makes mad fucking money with their console sales. But more often than not today, especially with me, I'm likely getting a game for my PC before I'm getting it on the PlayStation or I'm getting it on the Nintendo. I only get it on Nintendo if it's only available on Nintendo. You know what I mean? But if it's a multi-platform game, I'm likely getting it for my PC because it's just like, I don't need a console if I can just play it on the PC, and I'm already doing everything on my PC. I guess you can argue that you get it for a different console for the sake of like excusing you from getting away from the fucking computer all the damn time. But I don't think that's really a reason to like get a different version of a game when it's easier and it's cheaper to get something for your computer that you're already investing a lot of time and money into. So it's like, given my line of work, I'm always going to have incentive, I guess, for lack of a better description, to get different consoles if it tickles my fancy, but there's got to be an interest there. And I got to tell you, after this console generation, if and when they announce like the PlayStation 6, whenever that fucking happens, unless there was like a bonkers fucking game on launch, I may not get it because I rarely touch my PlayStation 5. Like, I've had that PlayStation 5 for several years at this point, and I've only played maybe a handful of games on it to completion. You know, I played 7 Remake, I've played Astrobot, I've played RE9 Requiem, I've played Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7. But then Resident Evil 7 was more PlayStation 4. My point is that I rarely touch that fucking thing. And if I'm rarely touching it now, what does that mean for me, like, in the next console generation? You know, there was Miles Morales, but Miles Morales, Emil, that was PlayStation 5 launch. And I haven't replayed that game since then. Like, since that video that I made back in, I think it was 2020, I have not replayed that game at all. I have no incentive, I have no reason or drive to boot up my PlayStation 5. I rhymed there, I just realized. You know, I'd rather I'll play it on PC because I'm already on the computer. And I really don't need to boot up the thing unless I have no choice, or if it makes it easier for SGB. All right, Sam procrastinates. Hey, Sam. Hey, John. Hope you've been well. Recently, the Jak and Daxter games got a decomp for all 3 games. Oh, boy. When/if you look at the series for a Johnny Versus, would you use the new decomps? Looks like a fantastic way to play the games. All right, so I got to be that bitch. Probably no. Because I have PlayStation 2 copies of the original Jak games. If you guys remember my Ratchet and Clank videos, how despite having access to like the HD re-releases and what have you, I decided to play the PlayStation 2 originals because I wanted to experience the games on the console that they were originally released for during an era where I was very much a PlayStation 2 guy, and I just wanted that authentic original experience. I was thinking something similar for not only Jak and Daxter, but Sly Cooper. You know, because those games were the mascot platformers of the PlayStation 2, and I feel, just for the sake of like satiating my sense of authenticity, I want to play the games on the console they were originally released for. So while we live in a day and age where it's like everyone is trying to find the most optimal way of playing a game that may or may not have been held back by the technology of its time, I need that feeling of, I guess, nostalgic authenticity to play a game for the console that it was originally released for. Is it stupid? Yeah, it's not ideal either, but if it's within reasonability, if I feel I can do it without any real issues, I'll do it. It's fine. The original PlayStation 2 versions of Sly 1 through 3 are directly emulated on PlayStation 4 or 5. So, I mean, that definitely makes it easier. They don't have any stupid fucking filters on them that you can't turn off, right? Just making sure, because that's why I don't play PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation 5. Because they got that fucking stupid filter shit on it. It's like, I didn't ask for this. So you would play Unleashed on 360 over the decomp? No, I would play the decomp over the 3. Like, fuck you, Rick. You're right, but I have played Sonic Unleashed on the 360 enough times, and the decomp is just dead ass a better fucking experience. But I have played the original on the 360 more than enough times to say I don't want to play the original release on the 360 anymore. But Jak and Daxter, I have not played those games yet. Okay, I've played a bit of the first game, but I put it down because it bored me to death. But if I'm going to commit to the bit and play the games as originally designed, I'm going to play them on the PlayStation 2 first. And then if I end up really liking the games for whatever reason, then I humor the decomps, because it's like, okay, so you played the games, but now you're going to play the game, but better. I appreciate the question, though, Stan. Thank you very much. Utaku Star is asking, what do you want after the next Mario movie? Luigi's Mansion, Paper Mario centric? this kind of goes into spoilers. I don't want to like, I legit can't answer this question because it kind of goes into the movie itself. But I'm going to keep it as vague as possible because my critiques of the Mario Galaxy movie are very similar to my critiques of the original movie. Can we please slow the fuck down? Like, there is nothing wrong with a movie being a theme park attraction where you are spending most, if not the entire venture, pointing and recognizing all the references that they're throwing at you. But I just want a genuinely decent story from beginning to end that is, you know, not so distracted by doing all of these needless, you know, call outs or callbacks to stuff that we're already well familiar with, you know. And it's like, and don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but fuck, man, it's like, it makes it so hard to revisit movies that are just look at this, look at that, without having any substance. Because a movie with substance is something that I love revisiting. I gotta shut the fuck up because otherwise I'm gonna get really into it, and I need to have talking points with my uncle later in the week. You know, but for what it's worth, I am going to be seeing the movie one more time before we have that discussion. So maybe there's something that I missed and that sort of shit. But like I do have words to describe the Galaxy movie without like getting into the nitty gritty, because I don't know, like it's kind of tricky to talk about without trying to spoil anything. You know, that's the hard part with me. It's like I'm trying not to spoil shit, because I don't want to take away that experience for you guys, even if I don't necessarily have all the positive things to say about the movie. Okay. So with that said, Otaku, I can't really answer the question because answering the question spoils where the Mario Galaxy movie goes. But if they are building up to what I think they're building up to, then on paper, it sounds exciting, but at the same time, it also feels like it's just going to be all the issues I have with the movies on fucking hyperdrive. But I can't say anything else. Hell yeah, I'd watch Mario versus RoboCop. Fucking, you got Bowser breaking down the door. He's getting ready to ransack Peach's castle, and he just says, "Bitches leave," and then all the little toads scatter away, and he kidnaps the princess, and that kicks off the story. And I absolutely would love to see that. All right, General Godzilla is asking, "Hello, John. I was wondering, is there any cartoon show that you would think get a revival or a sequel?" Ooh, revival or a sequel? Let me think back. God damn it. I still haven't watched Steven Universe Future. And I hear things about that, but I also feel that is one of those things that I'm going to watch and not tell anybody that I'm watching. But I really did enjoy Steven Universe, and I would like to see another movie, personally speaking. Exo Squad? I don't know what Exo Squad is. Maybe I do, and I just don't recognize the name. Static Shock? Interesting. Okay. I never fully watched Static Shock. I didn't hate it from what I've seen in Piecemeal when it was on like on Kids WB. But God, I'm trying to think of like other cartoons that I actually really liked, but they just stopped making them. I would have loved to see more of Owl House, personally speaking. I've only recently, it was like 2 years ago at this point, but I feel the Owl House could have used a few more episodes, if not a whole other new season. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like there's something on the tip of my tongue. I love Infinity Train was allowed to be finished. I never heard of Infinity Train. People are saying the old Teen Titans. I thought, so wait, did the old Teen Titans just end? Or did it just like anticlimactically just not conclude at all? Yeah, kind of yes and no, really. Okay, I've never fully watched Teen Titans. It just wasn't my cup of tea as a teenager. But it ends kind of on a cliffhanger regarding Terra. I think Terra's a character from the show, but it doesn't fully wrap up. So, all right. So, are we dealing with a situation like Batman Beyond, where Batman Beyond technically didn't end in Batman Beyond itself and ended in a Justice League Unlimited episode? Like, is the finale of Teen Titans in a different show altogether? Because that'd be some funny shit if it was. It kind of ended in a tie-in comics? Oh, interesting. Okay. Does Teen Titans go and TT movie count? Because it's a crossover, right? I would say it would. I absolutely would say it would, because they technically meet. I don't know. Like, it's I feel out of the examples that I've listed out, I probably would have loved to see in a continuation of the Owl House, because the Owl House, I think at the end of it was it Owl House or was it Gravity Falls that was fucked by executive meddling and they had to cut the show like in half. Okay, so it was Owl House. Yeah, it was Owl House. Yeah, all right. Owl House is a wonderful show, but fuck, it does reek of compromise towards the end of it. And it's unfortunate because it's such a fun show. It is really just a fucking phenomenally fun show that I heavily recommend. Okay, here. Master G427 is asking, not really a question per se, but I actually want to show and tell you an interesting fact if you don't mind. Fun fact, Brianna White, Aerith's voice actor for 7 Remake and Rebirth, plays a lot of 14. Watch this for context. It's a Twitter link. I don't go on Twitter anymore. That's where the pedophiles live. But I will humor the link just for curiosity's sake.
Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
I am a huge Final Fantasy 14 player.
Right.
I started off as a black mage.
What's your parse numbers?
Way back when. Now I'm a red mage main.
Why?
Ever since Stormblood. I've gotten all the way caught up to Endwalker. I haven't gotten to Dawn Trail yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because it just looks so fun. I love that game.
Naming
and it's
Endwalker.
Such a comfort game for me.
I don't think she's ever played a red mage ever in her life.
It's a game that I keep just for myself. It's gotten me through some really hard times in my life because I could always log into the game and escape for a little bit and do something that made me feel like I was skillful and getting better and growing as a player. It's just really special to me. I could not.
Okay. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna believe her because I noticed that she was really scant on the details. You noticed? She didn't mention her home world. She didn't mention character name, I don't think. That sort of shit. And you know why? Because I think she just wants to keep that shit to herself. So actually, she might genuinely be a 14 player, like dead ass, just plays the game but doesn't tell anybody because it's like, fuck you. I want this for myself. So yeah, actually, that's pretty dope though. It's a pretty interesting fun fact. I appreciate that, Master G. Mill's asking, so with the first journey of Spyro all done, what would be the next 3D platform franchise you'd never play, you'd want to try out? I mean, this goes back into what I was talking about earlier, Emil. Like, I think with Spyro put to the side for the foreseeable future, I'm thinking, so the actual answer to this, in terms of like what I plan on wanting to cover, is Banjo, actually, because. I'm not saying that's going to be next, but if we're talking about like the next major 3D platformers that I want to play, it's Banjo. I want to play Banjo-Kazooie, and I want to play Banjo-Tooie, because I feel that I've been sleeping on those games long enough, and I genuinely do have a curiosity that I want satiated. But with Spyro done and over with, If we're keeping it strictly, I guess, like Sony related, then it's either going to be Sly Cooper or Jak and Daxter. But it depends. It'll probably be Sly Cooper if I had to choose between the two of them, because I really don't have interest in Jak and Daxter. Like, I really do not have interest in Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter is going to be an interesting journey, because I do want to just see where the franchise goes, like, after the first game. Because otherwise, I have no fucking thoughts and opinions on any of it. Yeah. Really? I thought it was going to be Sly Cooper? Well, you're wrong. Which just goes to show that no one knows what I plan on doing except me. You know what they say about assuming. Oh, okay. Arrow9 is asking, hey John, after watching all the Castlevania videos and realizing a lot of them had alternate campaign / extra modes to play the game, I was wondering if you have any other favorite alternate / extra modes in games, or even have one that you like to play more than the main game. Yeah, Kirby. This is an easy answer. Kirby. Meta Knight stuff. Any Kirby game that has a Meta Knight mode in it is generally something that I like to revisit, because Meta Knight is just point A to point B, get to the end as fast as you fucking can. It is a speedrun mode. I generally really like speedrun modes of games, because it's just like, you don't really have to worry about any like major gimmick outside of like something that's just like fundamentally incorporated into like the game's level design. It's just, how fucking fast can you beat the game? And I genuinely just love playing, to use it as an example, Meta Knight modes in any Kirby game are wonderful. Like, I will often just go back and visit that. Like, we're doing racing events for the charity stuff, like Kirby. Every time we're doing a Meta Nightmare stuff, I'm fucking there. Like, I am absolutely there. Does funky mode count? Yeah, I would say funky mode counts. It being made for like a baby's first platformer, like gamers and never played a Donkey Kong Country game in their life, it's kind of irrelevant, because it's a matter of like, do you find it fun? You know, do you find it fun like playing as Funky, who can ignore a lot of terrain with his surfboard and he can just fucking zippity doo-dah across the stage? Hell yeah, man. Funky mode is absolutely fun. That is a fun alternative mode that I think that folks can absolutely consider. Like, if they don't really like the main campaign of DKC, it was Tropical Freeze, right? I think that had funky mode. Like, it's like, fuck it, man. It's like you bought the game, do whatever the hell you want with it. The Lone Otaku is asking, howdy ho, Johnny O. So I've been doing game reviews on backlog. for the past year or so. Sort of fun writing challenge for myself. Thing is, most reviews on there are only around the length of a Twitter post. But my dumbass likes to yap, and I struggle to keep things concise, which is why I usually end up writing full-on essays for every game in a series, or a 4,000 plus word essay on why Pokemon X and Y are aggressively mid. Excessive, I know, but I just can't help but elaborate on things I do and don't like about certain games. If only I applied myself like that in high school. So my question is, how do you manage how much detail you go into when giving your own thoughts in your reviews, if at all? I don't. So it really does depends on how well constructed my scripts, my form, my sentence structure, the way I construct these reviews is really just me typing what I fucking say out loud to myself. Like, if I were to ever show you the raw documents of some of my reviews, you'd be not enamored, but awestruck by the amount of red squiggly lines, blue squiggly lines, the grammatical errors. Like, fucking Microsoft Word and WordPad fucking hate me. Well, it's like, you don't speak proper English. And it's like, I don't. Because I write the way I talk, and I yap a lot, but I also like say a lot of words repeatedly because I'm comfortable saying those words. But sometimes, for the sake of having structure, I write notes down when I'm recording any particular game, and depending on how thorough my notes are, will dictate how my versus script is constructed. If it's something like to use Enter the Dragonfly actually for an example, because that video is being cooked on right now. That game I got no notes for, so I spend most of my time writing just yapping over shit that I thought about in the middle of my journey. And it's like, I hope I can make something out of this. Like with best of luck, have fun. But if it's something that I am a fan of, or at least have a lot of interest for, then it's just a matter of what can I feel like I can talk about and make it interesting enough, you know. But there were times where it's like I'll write a script and I'm rereading it, and it's like, I didn't talk about like the soundtrack, or I didn't talk about like what I thought about the graphical fidelity of this. But it's also like, does it matter? If my opinion on that is like, if I didn't talk about it, if I didn't remember it enough to talk about it in the first place, it's probably not that important. I also don't feel I need to talk about every little thing about a game, because I'm not a compendium. I'm a dude with an opinion that, for the love of Christ, tries to make you like laugh or entertain you with my thought, because you guys give a fuck about that, and I want to do right by that. But sometimes I'll find myself getting caught up on trying to talk about a specific thing just for the sake of it, and it's like, no, don't. Because if you're trying to force it into the, if you're trying to clumsily inject it into the script just for the sake of satiating someone's curiosity, then you're not really writing for yourself. You're writing for what you think people will want you to talk about. And it's like, I'll talk about this if it tickles my fancy, and if I don't, like, whatever, you'll live.
Let's go.
Blurred Gamer is asking, hey there, John, hope you're doing well and enjoying the spring season. I'm not, because I allergies are a bitch, and I get a lot of weather headaches around this time of the year. In a similar vein, because I love this time of the year weather-wise, or any random day, what would you say your criteria is for the perfect weather? Actually, let me see. Perfect weather for me is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I gotta distinguish that between, because you guys, I got folks here that measure stuff in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. I don't know what 50 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius. You guys can do the quick maths on that one if you don't mind. But I love hoodie weather. I don't like bitter cold. My balls are in my throat. Like frigid temperatures that requires wearing a thick ass coat. And I don't like when it's overly hot and I'm getting burnt and I suffer from heat exhaustion. I like 50 degree brisk chill wind that constitutes a hoodie, and I can just go about my day. Now, I don't mind overcast, but I prefer partially cloudy skies, because I love the sun. The sun is my friend. The sun gives me vitamin D. But if we're talking about just like temperature wise and humidity, I need something to be at like 50 degrees. I can comfortably walk outside with my hoodie so that I'm not weighed down by too much clothing, and I can actually breathe. Because if it's too cold, I can barely breathe. My nostrils freeze up. And if it's too hot, I can barely breathe. I can't breathe. But generally speaking, the beginning of spring and the end of fall generally is when I find the weather perfect or ideal, because nothing's really perfect at the end of the day. I appreciate you stopping by, Leon Esper. I see your comment in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. All right, continuing on here. How long have we been going? We've been going for about an hour and a half now. All right, so we'll keep going here. Arno's real. I almost read your name as Arson is real, and I was like, yeah, I hope, yeah. I heard you, John, I heard you mentioning Gunpla/Gundam a few times, or from... Now, I think you meant to spell my uncle's name as Uncle Silver, but you didn't spell it with the uncle with the U. You spelled it with an I, and my mind read it as Incel Silver. So I don't think that's how you're supposed to pronounce his name. It's like still correct, but I think you meant to say Uncle Silver. My question is, have you ever seen any of the shows or interested to watch any of them? Are we talking Gundam? No, I've never watched a Gundam series in my life. Gundam to me starts and ends with all of those Toonami promotions I used to see when I used to watch Toonami all the time growing up for Dragon Ball. You know, because that's what you would see. Like I would see fucking sizzle reels for Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fists of the North Star, Outlaw Star. I think that was another one. I think Sailor Moon was a thing for a time on Toonami. I don't remember exactly when or why. I think Samurai Jack was also on the Toonami block for a time. But that is generally where it starts and ends with me, because I'm not really a giant mecha guy. I appreciate a cool giant mech, and I know like that is only part of the reason why you watch Gundam. I don't know for sure, but to me that wasn't enough to satiate my interest to consider watching it. I don't know. Like I watched Ava, so maybe I'm sleeping on stuff, but I don't know. If Elliot is on, can we rate it with Incel? Well, hold on, you misspell Uncle's name. It's not. Wait, hold on. Why are we suddenly saying Incel Gurg? You're not my uncle at all. All right. Let's continue on. Mako, one of my mods, is asking, where am I? You are currently in the community corner channel in my Subshack Discord. That was easy. Thank you. I appreciate the gimme. Thank you, Mako. Son Gohan is asking, what is a Sonic game you would like to see get remake? Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Okay, no. Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Heroes. I think out of all the 3D games from the earliest years, the ones I would like to see get remake the most, the Dreamcast era. I would like to see SA1, SA2, and Sonic Heroes. Hell, not even Sonic Heroes. I don't even necessarily need a remake of Heroes. I would like to see Heroes attempted again. Like the three like partner system mechanic, you're tagging out, you essentially using all the characters, the special abilities for the sake of exploring 3D levels. It's pretty dope. Like on paper, it's just that like the first attempt had issues, and while I can still play Sonic Heroes, like if you ask me, like I can still play it just fine. It has its qualities. I have no problem with it, like for the most part. I would like to see the Heroes formula tried again at some point. If not, then I would like a remake of that game. And I would love a remake of SA1, SA2. It's been, I don't know. I feel people have been wanting that for a very long time. And it's like, no matter what you attempt, no matter how it ends up turning out to be, like obviously you want it to be good, but no matter how it ends up turning out to be good or bad, the originals are still going to be there. And that's what I hold on to. It's like Sonic Adventure 1 remake gets announced, I play it, and it's not everything that I want it to be. That's fine. I can still go back to the original game. The same with SA2 and the same with Heroes. Although ideally I would like Heroes to be better. All right. Daybreaker is asking, given my experience now taking care of a house full of pets, 3 dogs, used to be 3 cats, but now 7 cats due to an outdoor cat giving birth to more as of late. Good Lord, they're reproducing. They are a handful. What's your experience with your cats in comparison? Was it easy or hard taking care of them over the years? Did Elliot nor anyone else help out, made it easier? Okay, so this is kind of simple to ask, because simple to answer, because until Celine entered my life in 2018, yeah, I think it was 2018. All the other cats in my life were just cats that my mom had. She either every cat that we've ever had was a cat that it was either from a litter from a feral cat or a stray cat from outdoors. or she got it from someone who was offering other cats. But I don't think mom, off the top of my head, ever went to like the SPCA or like some other veterinarian clinic and adopted a cat. At least I don't think she did. It's hard to say, but most of my experiences with cats growing up were just cats that my mom had, and I took care of them by proxy. But Celine was the first cat I ever had that I personally took care of. And fuck me, dude, like that was a very arduous month. Like that first month when Celine was only like 2 weeks old when my mom brought her over to my house. She was barely out of the fucking womb. And she had no mom. So it's like, now you gotta be the mom. And the mom it is near 24-hour watch of making sure she's eating right. Like you're feeding her proper milk, making sure that, you know, she doesn't get lost or confused. She's probably always confused. But the best part was the fucking potty training, man, because like, without their mom being there, you got to do that shit yourself. And the process of potty training a cat means you got to stimulate their asshole. And how do you do that? With wipes, of course. I mean, what were you thinking? Huh? But there was, I can't exactly accurately describe the euphoria I sensed when Celine went to the bathroom properly the first time, when she actually used the litter box, when I set it up for her. It was like a moment of triumph. It was like, holy fuck, dude, I think I can actually raise a cat. And it's like, my only regret with Celine, like speaking as a cat dad that, you know, learns from their experiences, I wish Celine had a buddy at an earlier age, because Celine, I love her, but she can be very skittish. She is very timid. She loves Diego. Don't get me wrong. The two are fucking, they are fire forced friends now. But I do feel Celine can be quite uncomfortable to other humans. And a part of that is because for a long time, all she had was me and no other buddy to like comfort her when I'm not there. And nowadays she could be quite skittish, and she's easily frightened too. And it's unfortunate because like you look at Diego, my other cat, and Diego is a creature, but he's so fucking friendly, except to my uncle. But that could be because Diego is also racist. And you know, you have to think of all possibilities. Asshole. But you know, God, like raising Celine, that was quite an adventure for a time. And thank God, like after the first few months when she started being able to start taking care of herself, I was like, holy fuck, I can finally rest. But yeah, man, I mean, but pets can be a fucking trip, dude. Like, I can't imagine 7 cats with 3 dogs. No. So 3 dogs and used to be cats, not 7 cats. So wait, do you have 3 dogs and 7 cats? Am I reading that right? That's fucking 10 pets. Like, god damn, like I love cats and I love dogs, but I can't imagine having a house full of cats and dogs. That sounds exhausting and very noisy. Ian is asking, something I've been thinking about game remakes recently. While I understand people not wanting to replace the original version of a game, I feel people kind of dismiss remakes as a piece of art in and of themselves and just write them off as products. With the most egregious case for me being people rejecting Final Fantasy VII Remake and what it tries to say about the concept of remaking it because it isn't faithful enough. Am I crazy for thinking this? No, it just means you actually have fucking media comprehension and a thought worth a damn. I don't know. It's just like... not that I see it often, but people do get pretty fucking weird when it comes to the idea of remaking a specific game, because like why waste the argument would be like, why waste the money and resource on something that's already established and you can be putting that towards something new or efficient and some other shit. And it's like, and some of them will argue that you can easily emulate the original game just fine. And it's like, but did you ever consider that the original game has problems and doesn't make for the most accessible fucking time? The reason why people appreciate remakes more than anything, outside of it bringing the franchise's name back to a degree of relevancy, is because remakes are an opportunity to improve or at least fix something about the original release that people don't fucking like. You know, it's like people are like, I will see people like want remakes of Persona 1 and 2, right? Because it's like those are the only two games that just seem to be ignored by Atlus at this point in time. But, you know, purists will say that no, they should just play Persona 1 and 2 if they really want to play it. And I was like, no, because Persona 1 and 2 are nothing like the fucking like P3 and beyond, which are the games that everyone has played, and for good reason, because they're just much better crafted fucking games. Like, so if you were to take that opportunity, like, I'm not telling you to fix, or I'm not telling you that like the fuck with the story or fuck with like the character interactions, but I'm taking like a remake of Persona 1 and 2 to make them more similar to 3, 4, or 5, I think is a great thing, because you make the games more accessible in a gameplay sense so that people can actually stay aboard and actually pay attention to the fucking story. You know, it's like, I just like, that would mean those original games can be easily replaced with that mindset. No, it fucking doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that guy. No, it does not. The original games aren't going anywhere. Just because you play P3. So because you play P3 Reload, does that fucking mean the original Persona 3 or Portable or a Fez vanish into fucking thin air? No. They're still there. They're absolutely still there. You can play those, whatever, but it's like, you got to have the personal curiosity. That's what happened with OG Yakuza 3. Listen, like, but the argument still stands. It doesn't, the original Yakuza 3 being replaced by that's a company issue. That's not a community issue. That is a company issue. But it's still, like, I am pretty sure it is still very much possible to play the original Yakuza 3. Do you gotta make some leaps and hurdles over it? For sure. But to say the game is completely fucking gone, I think is just silly. You know? Remaking a game doesn't erase the original game. No, it does not. That is such a overly dramatic like take on, or at least an argument for arguing against remakes, because it's just not true. You know, I love Metroid Zero Mission. Does that mean Metroid 1 on the NES is like, don't bother? No, like, there are merits to playing the original game for the sake of seeing where the franchise started, and I think there's always going to be value in that. But to say it just doesn't fucking exist anymore is just goddamn wrong. It's so silly. It's so stupid. Okay, but Santiago is asking, "Are you ready for a round?" And then he gets cut off because he probably got hit by the fire attack. What do you mean Alex is married to his adopted? What do you mean Alex is married to his adopted sister? They what? Second question. Well, no, they patched that out now, so that it's not relevant anymore. Well, I mean, we'll never forget. What are your thoughts on the JoJo Steel Ball Run Netflix controversy? So I have not read or watched Steel Ball Run, but from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, the Netflix adaptation of the Steel Ball Run is now one episode in, and now we don't have a release date for the other episodes. Am I getting that right? Because if that's the case, that is really fucking stupid. Like, I don't exactly know what the situation is with Steel Ball Run, because I've not been really following JoJo news, but if I'm remembering correctly, you started showing the new season, or at least the new part. You're one episode in, and now it's like, all right, we'll release the second one at some point or another. What the fuck are you doing? Like, that is like genuinely, I'm asking, what the fuck do you think you're doing by doing that? This isn't like, I mean, and even that, so my follow-up question to this, that one episode of Steel Ball Run, how long is that episode? Like, is it standard anime length? Is it only like 22 minutes, like 23 minutes? Like, if you don't account for like commercials and other shit like that. So it's like, so it's 40, like even then 40 minutes, like a mini series. You know, miniseries are still released in like spurts of 5 to 6 episodes. You know, fucking Invincible season 4 started recently. And that series is already, I think, 3 episodes in, maybe. Actually, I haven't watched the second episode yet. But it's like, if you're planning on releasing this shit, normally people have a release schedule before they're even considering releasing the thing and period. What the fuck do you mean to accomplish or hope to accomplish by releasing one goddamn episode of a new series and then just not releasing the rest on a somewhat consistent basis? You realize the only thing that is going to amount to that is you're going to kill the fucking show that you spent money on to publish. So if anything, that just makes you look incompetent. It's not even so much a matter of that they're trying to kill the fucking JoJo series. No, it just makes you look stupid as fuck. It's like, are you guys even paying attention to the things that you're greenlighting and approving? Because if you're not, then why should people give a fuck about what you acquire? If anything, you're gonna be the fucking limited run of like anime. Although I hear limited run is getting some new fresh blood in the CEO stuff, so maybe that'll change. Who knows? But the insulting thing is that they dropped the episode like it's a pilot for original series when this is the 7th season of a well-known series that people have been waiting for ages. And it's like, and also like to use like another example, like people have been loving the live action One Piece adaptation, right? Over on Netflix. And that is Netflix, right? So clearly, like Netflix is a good host for this shit. And you keep pulling this fucking shit that just makes like, what are you doing? Nothing. You're not doing anything. You're wasting fucking time, dude. Netflix hates JoJo. Why the fuck do they keep goddamn publishing JoJo related stuff, dude? Yeah, I remember hearing Part 6 also had similar issues as well. And I don't get it, man. Like, I genuinely don't get it. If you don't have any fucking interest in it, it's like, and you feel like you're legally obligated to post something just for the sake of keeping that's what it feels like, honestly, right? It feels like they're doing this kind of shit so that they can still hold on to like the licensing rights of having like the JoJo series on their platform. And it's like, I don't like when they fucking do that, man, because that just means like the damn thing feels like shackled and bound to some like legalese and obligations and other bullshit. It also just encourages pirating too, because it's just like, you guys really don't like money because you're giving people all the reason in the world to just not buy the product and just like read it on like just torrent that shit. It's like, and it's fully deserved because you did this. Like, you fucking did this. Don't bitch that these things don't fucking make money and other shit like that when you do dickheaded shit like this and you give people no choice. But it's like, fuck you, man, I'm gonna go torrent this shit. Yeah, Netflix subscriptions dropped 15%. I couldn't tell you why. We released the first episode of a new season and then gave them nothing else. Where are they going? Nintendo 2000 is asking, since I'll be watching the 1979 Muppet movie in the theater after this stream, favorite episode of the Muppet Show, if you seem to remember it? No, I don't. I can't answer that because the last time I genuinely remember any vivid memory of watching the Muppet Show, and I say vivid memory, it's barely that, was in the early 90s. And I was barely like 5 or 6 years old, I want to say. The Muppets is something I've always had an appreciation for, but would I ever go out of my way to watch the Muppet Show? Not really, because it's like, to me, the Muppets were more just something that I watched movies for. And even then, I never watched all the Muppet movies. You know, I watched a lot of, do Muppet Babies count? Because I used to watch that a lot as a child. But then that, you know, I grew up. Would you say Sesame Street is Muppets or just Muppets adjacent? Because that's the closest thing to Muppets I've seen. Well, it's not really a Muppet. It's not really a puppet. But I don't know. Like, I would say Sesame Street counts, because I would say Sesame Street is Muppets adjacent, because you're going for completely different vibes. So Sesame Street, you're there to learn. Muppets, you're there to not learn. Yeah, it's like, I was never really a Muppets guy, but, you know, I can pinpoint Kermit, I can pinpoint Miss Piggy, I can pinpoint Gonzo, I can pinpoint Animal, I can pinpoint characters of the Muppet series. But if you ask me, like, what I like about the Muppet Show, I can't really answer that. What about Rizzo? I think you made that up. I actually don't know if you're being genuine with that. I don't know if Rizzo's an actual character. Cyrus. Okay, moving on here. The Panda Hermit is asking, what do you think of RE Remakes Separate Ways DLC, reintegrating the more outlandish parts of RE4, like U3 and the Laser Corridor for Ada's Path specifically? I think it's good, because it is in one aspect a wonderful homage to some of the more insane moments of the original story's campaign, but also it spruces up Ada's Separate Ways in a way that makes it just more interesting, because Ada's Separate Ways in Remake is miles better than the fucking Separate Ways campaign in the original PlayStation 2 release. Like, the only thing that comes to mind from the original Separate Ways campaign in RE4 was the battleship sequence. That is literally it. Everything else about Ada's story in that alternate mode just kind of goes over my head. I don't remember anything about it except that part. But Remake uses this opportunity to integrate, more competently integrate Ada's adventure into Leon's campaign, while also keeping Wesker relevant too. I really like how much more screen time Wesker gets in the Separate Ways story mode, while also making sure that Ada has more interesting things to do. Like, it's fucking, I would argue, unless you guys want to say otherwise, that Separate Ways with Ada is like the best thing Ada's ever been in. Like, the Separate Ways campaign in RE4 Remake is the best thing Ada's ever been involved with, and that includes her dedicated campaign in RE6. Then again, I don't know if that's setting the bar too low, because I'd rather play any other Resident Evil game outside of 0 than play Resident Evil 6 again, because 6 is a commitment, and 6 kind of frustrated me. RE2 Ada I like a little bit. I don't even remember Ada in RE2 Remake, like, being real. I mean, I know, like, she's part of, like, Leon's campaign, but I recall just enjoying Ada's story more in Separate Ways than I did in RE2 Remake. But that RE2 Remake is also just I'm overdue for replaying that game. My issue with my RE4 Remake Ada is that I don't like her VA much, which is not to say, I know what you mean, and I agree, because I think, because it's not the same girl from 2 Remake. I think it's somebody else entirely. And it's unfortunate too, because, you know, Ada's voice actress in RE4 Remake got a lot of shit, and I think death threats even, because, you know, fucking gamers are going to be absolute shitheads over shit that doesn't matter. But I will agree that her vocal performance as Ada in RE4 Remakes, that she sounded very bored. You say laid back and relaxed. No, I think she sounded bored. Like, I think I'm going to be a little meaner. I think she sounded bored. And I wasn't entirely a fan of it, because, like, there's a part of me that kind of gets the idea of Ada Wong being like someone who suppresses emotions for the sake of fulfilling the mission. But there's also, like, if I'm going to be in charge of this character for the whole campaign, there's the voice work has to be more stimulating than a plank of wood, and unfortunately I think that they don't achieve that at all. But at the same time, you're not playing fucking Separate Ways for the voice acting. You're playing it for the gameplay. You know, if the voice acting is good, that's just a benefit. Like it's a bonus, but it's also like it's not the reason that I play the game. Was it Valstone? Yeah, Valstone. Hey John, wanted to say happy Easter. It's pretty hot outside at my home, and for my question, I'm curious if you were to make an animated pilot, what would you like it to be about? Wait, if you were to make an animated pilot, what would you like to be about? Like, are we just talking wholesale? Like, if you just like to make a cartoon? I don't know. Like, I feel that's kind of a loaded question because it's like, I mean, obviously, like the first thing that comes to mind if I were to make an animated pilot over anything, it'd be about my 14 OCs. Like, I would love to make an animated short with my Final Fantasy 14 characters, Joan, Romani, and Zazaz. Because I have a lot of fun just making a lot of screenshots with those characters, and at some point or another, I would love to share those ideas with you guys, or at least share those like those zany things that I've been like cooking up in my head for so long. But if I were to make a cartoon over anything that's not like video game related, outside like Sonic and that sort of shit, it'd be my 14 OCs easily. That there's no contest. Is one of your OCs really called Zazaz? Zazaz, Z-A-Z-A-Z. It's a palindrome. Because she's a Malala. Although Zazaz is technically a masculine name in the lore of Final Fantasy 14, but that's kind of like, you know, John doesn't pay attention. What genre would it be? No fucking idea. It'd be shonen. It'd be more like slices of life sort of shonen sort of thing. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head because I literally just kind of write the shit as I go along. One of them has an Ish Guardian name. There's room for creativity. That's true, yeah. French, not lore accurate. And he kicks you in the shin. Let me see here. Emil is asking, what are games do you love to play with mods? I'm currently playing Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas together in a mod that combines both. And it's been making re-experience those games. It's been making re-experiencing those games all over again. I'm assuming you meant to say like exciting all over again or something like that. I think there's like a word missing there. A game that I play with mod 14. Actually, I play 14 with mods, but not so much like in the game-changing mods because well, those are against terms of service and it's also illegal. But if we're talking about mods all encompassing, then I will say 14 immediately comes to mind because I do play 14 with mods. I play 14 with quality of life mods for like UI stuff, like user interface shit. And I also download cosmetic mods for my characters too. You know, because there's some, I have ideal looks for all of my characters that I just visually cannot achieve with the in-game character creation that 14 offers. And I'm hoping it's something they fix for 8.0. And beyond. So I got into the modding scene because I wanted to start making my characters look something more idealistic to what I would like them to be based off of the adventures that I have with them and the ideas I cook up in my head. You know, like canonically speaking, like Joan, she's a bit beefier than her in-game model because she works out a lot. Romani, he has stockier arms and he's got a bit of a gut. My Zaza's character is like admittedly a bit of a short stack, but that is just like, those are the things that you just like keep in your head. And it's like one of those, like if I draw, it'll make it for an interesting drawing here and there. But it's also like, these are things that I'm not going to be able to really realistically achieve within the game. Midna coding. Yeah. It's like my character Zaza's is a bit Midna coded. But her ass is a little fatter than that. But at the very least, you see exactly where I'm going at, Eden. But but that's strictly cosmetic mods. If we're talking like gameplay mods, like something that fundamentally changes. Something that fundamentally changes like the nature of the game, or at least how you re-experience a game. Let me think about that because I feel that there is an answer to this. And I was gonna say Project 06. I was like, technically, Project 06 doesn't count. Well, Project 06 technically is a modification. It's a wholesale modification. But hold on, I'm trying to think. Can you guys can we think of an answer like where it's like a modification to a game that breathes new life to it? Do we count Project M as a good example? Project M is actually an excellent example in Integra because I humored that for a while when Brawl was still the most recent game, and I genuinely liked it, even if it was kind of a pain to set up because you had to like homebrew your Wii in order to get access to it. Mogiri mod from Final Fantasy IX is a great example to Emil, because again, that's a lot of quality of life shit that makes the experience just fundamentally better. And now it's kind of like I can't go back to the original game now because Mogiri mod allows 100% steal rate success. It speeds up random encounters. It polishes the models in a way that doesn't look like it's a cheap AI upscale. Hold on, you guys are bringing out a lot of good. Oh yeah, okay. Standout example, actually, Ian, the 15 card mod from Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. I think that probably is the ultimate answer there, because the 15 card mod for Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories genuinely makes the game playable. Not that the original game is unplayable. The 15 card mod doesn't change the game mechanically, but it does increase the rewards you get for winning duels from 1 card to 15, so that you're not grinding nearly as much as you are in the original experience, because the original grinding experience for Forbidden Memories as designed is fucking miserable. And the 15 card mod, all it does is just respect your time. You still gotta grind, you still gotta put in the effort to get the dedicated ranks you need to get to pull from the proper card pool, but at the very least you're getting 15 cards as your reward as opposed to 1. And that, like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they originally designed that game. They probably weren't thinking much at all, because it was like, who the fuck's gonna buy? No, I'm kidding. But it's also like shit like that, like shit like the 15 card mod for Forbidden Memories genuinely is the only way I would play Forbidden Memories ever. And because that mod exists, it has given me a newfound appreciation for Forbidden Memories, because that is a game I did not think much of growing up, because it was so different compared to the original trading card game. That's like, I don't understand the fusion mechanic. I don't understand like how this, the zodiac signs, what am I doing here? But now that I have incentive to actually learn the game because the rewards are worth it, I have found new appreciation for the game. I genuinely like the game now. I especially like watching speedruns of Forbidden Memories. Speedruns of Forbidden Memories are so fucking fascinating. But I appreciate the question, Bill. Thank you very much. All right, we are past 6 o'clock hour, so I'm going to end things here with the Accursed Hunters question. And then we're going to call it a wrap here. So I appreciate everyone for coming in, by the way, for this. I always do, because these the community Q&As are generally some of my favorite things to do with you guys, because you guys always ask pretty interesting questions, and just like I just like shooting the shit with you guys. The Accursed Hunter 01 is asking, at some point I remember you saying you would re-review the Metroid Prime trilogy up to Metroid Prime 4's release. Is that still happening at some point, or did plans change? So plans did change for that one. I am now holding off the Metroid Prime trilogy video closer to Metroid Prime's Metroid Prime is turning 40 this year. No, Metroid Prime is not turning 40. Metroid itself, I think, is turning 40 this year. But yeah, I believe so. Metroid Prime is turning. I keep saying Metroid Prime, dude. But Metroid's anniversary is this year, and I believe it is. Yeah, Metroid Prime's not that far from turning 40. To be fair, no, it's still got a ways to go. But my new plan is to release the video closer to Metroid's anniversary of this year, just to give me something to talk about, and because, you know, I guess to remain topical, I suppose. But it's also like I really do genuinely want to revisit the Prime series, especially after Prime 4, because I think Prime 4, my opinion and my journey through Prime 4 has set this sort of precedent on reevaluating my opinions on the original 3 games, which to be fair, or not to be fair, but to be honest, I don't think it's really gonna change much of my opinion on the first Prime game, because I'll be the first to say right now, I still love Metroid Prime 1 like to death. It is just a genuinely wonderful Metroid game from beginning to end. But I am curious as to how my opinions would be reevaluated for Prime 2 and Prime 3. I would say Prime 2 more than any of those games. I'm actually really interested in revisiting, given my journey as a content creator and how my tastes have changed and evolved throughout the last 15 years of making these videos. So that should be pretty interesting, but I would not expect the Metroid Prime Trilogy video until sometime in the summer. So that's all I have to say about that for now. Metroid is turning 40 on August 6th, the day after your 26th birthday. Happy birthday, man. I'm saying that in advance right now, so that way I won't feel bad when I forget it. August 6th. Well, August 5th, actually, more accurately. So, yeah, that's what we're going to call it a wrap there for today, guys. That is going to be it for this month's community Q&A. I generally try to host these in the beginning of the month. Again, I genuinely love doing this stuff with you guys, because you guys have always given me interesting questions to talk about, even outside in the realm of video games, or just like, I want to shoot the shit. And I absolutely, shooting the shit with you guys is so fucking easy. You know, no matter how inane, banal, or silly the question might be, I am more than happy to answer your questions. That said, we are going to raid Clark, because his Mario Party shenanigans are starting today, I believe. And we are going to give Clark some love, because Clark is a genuinely wonderful human being. And he deserves all the love in the world. I believe that is this thing. Yeah, there we go. Clark's Madness. We're going to raid his channel now. I think he's playing Mario Party for a charity. If not, then just someone that I said hi anyway. The hashtag is either incel sulfur or incel gurg. Actually, probably incel gurg. Let's use incel gurg just to see if Clark can pronounce it on his first try. He probably can. All right, guys, send Clark my love, and I will catch you guys next time with DBZ Kakarot. That is the next thing we'll be streaming later in the week. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.